Hey guys, Dylan from the Geek Duo here, and today I'll be bringing you my reaction to Erased Episode 10, titled Joy. Three people, including Hiromi, were murdered the first time around, but this time the targets were moved out of the killer's sight. However, Satoru is worried about whom the killer will go after next in place of his intended victims. Now, um, I do have a video that I've just released. I'm linking it in the comments of this video. It'll be in the pinned one. Going over a response to a comment I got on the last episode saying that now is the time to start really paying attention to the opening and to think back on why this is all happening and all that. So I made a video going over an analysis of my thoughts and all that of what could be happening. So that's pinned down below. There was way too much to put in the start of this episode, which was my initial plan. So, yeah, if you're interested in hearing my thoughts about all that, I'd suggest watching that video and then coming back to watch this. But if you decide not to, or you've already watched it, let's get this started in 3, 2, 1, go. Aya. That's the one I always forget. I thought you only blamed yourself for not being able to save one. So I have a genuine question. Do we get any explanation as to why he's able to go back in time? Like, is there anything given about that? I've been wondering it for a bit, but I've never noticed the one talking to the ice skater in that. Like, I noticed there was a character, but I've never paid attention. Or the one walking up with the Twin Towers girl. Because you'd think being put in the opening would mean they're important, but two of the four have made an impact, the other two haven't. You're reading Shakespeare in year 5? Well, that went well. Great job, guys. Great job. So much for being able to see. Well, that went well. What's up with the. I mean, that's one way to think about it. Well, it seems that she's going to be the. What's the likelihood she's not showing up to school on Monday? Well, you sort of missed your chance. Don't be a weirdo. Whose car is it? Hmm. You planted the... Hmm. I would like to say that I was surprised, and in a way, I am. Even though I was told ages ago that this was the case, I still have my doubts going into this. More than you know. You'd think that his power would be able to save himself. Having gotten out of seats where it's strapped in before because of faulty thing, you could have gotten out of that. It's just no one thinks of the right way to do it in the moment. Obviously, it wasn't for anything bad or anything. It's just the latch stuck, so it just fed the band through and was able to wiggle out. Like, I had a feeling that was where it was going to end. So yeah, I I knew it was the teacher. Like I said, had my doubts because some things weren't adding up, but um, obviously the person who told me, my ex-girlfriend at the time who was watching this show, had no reason to lie. She just wanted to talk about the show. I was never planning to watch it at the time because I wasn't into anime. I'd only seen Death Note, and even then I wasn't really into anime, so I'm just like, look, don't care, tell me who it is so that you can talk about it and just I'll listen along. And well, yeah, so I went into this knowing who it was. Um, Given the fact that I knew that, I did try to watch it as if I was just viewing this for the first time. Like, I was someone who had no idea or anything. I said at the start that I did, but that's why I never said the teacher as a definitive suspect. I gave reasons in the video that I released alongside this. I gave reasons as to why and why not he could be a suspect, as well as uh, saying that of the three, I gave a clear, definitive story as to how one of the others could have reached that point. Like, well, I say the other three. The three males that we know from this time are the teacher, Yuki, and the mum's boyfriend. Well, Kaio's mum's boyfriend. Like, those are the three. And of those, I gave the reason as to why the boyfriend was the most likely suspect. Because, given my way of analyzing this and everything, as I said, I would not have gotten to the teacher on my own accord. I would have seen him as a suspect, of course. And yeah, sure, visually he matches like the killer. However, I would have gone for the boyfriend as the most likely suspect. And I even said that in my video alongside this, but yeah. So I knew. You know, it's interesting that he's like, I know your future. Really, you don't. You don't know anything about what happened to him after. Like, Does he really know anything that happened? Also, you'd think that if you have the power to go back in time and stop bad events from happening, you'd be able to go back in time and save yourself. Yes, I know there are examples of people with similar powers who can't. Like, people whose powers don't work on themselves. But given the reason for his powers activation and everything, it would make sense for it to be able to work on him. But yeah, anyway, still have no real clue as to motive or anything. Like, I don't understand why he's doing this. Like, just seems like he wants to kill kids. Like, just pulling a William Afton, I guess. Like, there's no motive given other than, hey, this kid, they're isolated, die. That's literally all I'm getting from him. Which means that the fact that Hiromi is a boy has absolutely nothing to do with the why he stopped the first time around, and I guess second time around. So that in and of itself, that comment early in the season, that was a red herring. Okay, I'll accept that. That was actually smart. It does throw some doubt on the teacher by putting that comment in there, because obviously teacher knows Hiromi's a boy. If the killer stopped because they killed a boy, obviously not the teacher. But no, that was just speculation from someone who didn't have the whole picture, which makes sense because he didn't have the whole picture. Anyway, interested to see what these last two episodes are going to be about, because you'd think that no one would be around to save him from the lake. There'd be, unless the teacher is interested in his comment about knowing his future. But as I said, he doesn't know his future. Like, as far as we know, sure, he knows that the teacher gets questioned about the disappearances and is a suspect, but like, other than that, it seems like there's been absolutely no crossover in their life since the end of their next year at school. Like, Also, does Hiromi really classify as someone who was alone? Like, Kaio, yeah. Aya, yeah. The other girl who he called out in class, and then she lost her friends because she was publicly humiliated. Yeah, she counts as being by herself. It is, I will say, it is incredibly smart on the teacher to bait Satoru out like that. Like, he realized that there was a commonality between two of his victims, that being Satoru's sudden intervention. So he tells his friend to tell, and knows that his friend will tell him about this girl who's by herself and is going to this game just to see. That's smart. But yeah. Anyway, back on my initial thought. Does Hiromi count as by himself? Because, like, he's always seen with at least one of the other from the group. Like, to begin with, it was Hiromi, the bigger guy, and the one with the beanie. And then, once they started helping out Kaio, it was Kenya, Hiromi, and Satoru. Like, sure, that's a new thing for this timeline, but at no point was he ever really alone. So, Anyway, I'm I'm going to end this one here. I'll catch you in the next one.